Mexico, just 29 days until the election, the McCain camp finds itself down in the polls, and it's going on the offensive, trying to raise doubts about Barack Obama, his personal doubts, while attacking Obama's links to 60s radical Bill Ayers. That's one way they're doing it. Let's dig deeper. Joining us, CNN senior political analyst and former presidential advisor to both Republicans and Democrats, David Gergen, CNN senior political analyst Gloria Borger, and CNN chief national correspondent John King. David, Senator McCain used a very strong language against Obama today, even asking who's the real Barack Obama. Obama's commercials have called McCain a liar in the past, so there's strong language on both sides. But is what the McCain campaign doing, it comes with some risks given people's concerns about the economy right now, doesn't it?
Huge risks, Anderson. It's almost as if we're living in two different universes. You know, most Americans are deeply, deeply concerned about the economy and their pocketbooks and their savings accounts, worrying about the proverbial 401k turning into a 201k. And we got this other universe about the candidates wandering down historical roads that seem irrelevant to most Americans. Who cares very much about, you know, where Barack Obama was associating with, 15, 20 years ago, or Barack Obama raising today in a webcast about John McCain's associations with Charlie Keating and the SNL scandal of 20 years ago. Most Americans care deeply about what these candidates are going to do in the next 20 months, and they're not hearing that, and they're going to penalize the candidate who harps on these personal things of the past and does not respond to and present a plan for our economic future.
It's interesting, Gloria, because Palin, during the debate with Biden, kept saying to Biden, "Oh, Joe, you're just so talking about the past," when he was talking about the war and how we got into the war. But now talking about, the past, Bill Ayers seems fair game, and the Keating Five, as David mentioned, for Obama.
What the McCain campaign is trying to do is raise doubts about Barack Obama in any way they can, because that's probably the last card they've got.
So is this like the kitchen sink strategy that Clinton once did?
This is it. Essentially raise questions in people's minds. Can you trust him to manage this economy? But I agree with David, because I do think this is a big issue election. People are already angry. Only 12% of the country thinks we're headed in the right direction. So you risk getting them angrier because they're not talking about what you care about, which is your pocketbook and your family's future. So I think it's dangerous on both sides.
John, though, I guess the McCain campaign would say, well, look, we are talking about the economy. It's just the media happens to focus on, what we say about Barack Obama.
Well, John McCain's own advisors will tell you privately, and certainly other Republicans will tell you publicly, Anderson, that the campaign has been all about tactics and not about a broad strategy in recent days. They've gone back and forth themselves. What they're trying to do is something that Hillary Clinton tried to do against Barack Obama, something the Republicans have tried to do against every left of center Democrat in our lifetime, to try to say that on policy, on cultural issues, and just on who they are, they're not like you. That's what they're trying to sell to small-town America. And as Gloria noted, right now the polls are breaking against them. I'm standing tonight in Ohio. Our own polling shows Barack Obama ahead here. There's a new Washington Post poll out tonight that shows Barack Obama again here. No Republican has ever won the White House without winning the state of Ohio. In small-town America, they're trying to push Obama to the left by guilt by association, trying to also hit him on policy. It's all part of a puzzle. They need to raise more doubts about him, because right now voters have more doubts about McCain on the #1 issue, and that is the economy, of course.
It's interesting, David, because, you were giving the advice last week that the McCain campaign needed to come up with something new on the economy, kind of something positive that they could be talking about. They seem to have gone in the complete opposite direction.
Well, what's new about that? Look, a couple of things. One, they clearly need to present an economic plan tomorrow night. And someone, a major economist, raised tonight in another conversation I had an interesting idea, and that is that both candidates in this particular case are senators, so that right after the election, in fact, as a senator, you could lead an effort to really bring some economic reforms. The winner can. And so it would be really good to hear from them not only what they would do as president, but what they might do in the next 3 months. You just open this show by saying the next few weeks are really critical in the credit markets, with the things feeding each other. But let me make one other point, Anderson, on mine. It's not the media that is smothering their effort to get out an economic message on either side. The McCain campaign said very clearly in a conference call to reporters late last week, we want to turn the page away from the financial crisis and back to these personality issues. And then right away, Sarah Palin goes out and accuses Obama of palling around with a former terrorist. Now, there's no disguise here about what's going on. They clearly want to change the subject. And today, Obama hit back. Now, Obama's maybe, he's in danger of getting down in the mud with him if he's not careful. This could boomerang on both of them. The man who gets blamed for diverting this is in a real risk.
And don't you guys think it's late for this to happen? Usually this kind of mudslinging happens sometime over the summer, not a few weeks before an election, not 29 days before an election. It seems to me that it's so risky.
29 days with all this other stuff going on. I think that's in particular what makes it feel so, or at least is giving it so much attention. We're going to have more with our panel coming up. New polls